Yo, what is going on, guys? So for today's tip, we're going to go over one of the best Mabel beaters or zone beaters in the entire game, Madden 21. Let me go ahead and show you the formation, and the formation is going to be out of the doubles flex wing. Now, the play we're going to be looking at here is going to be slot cross. Now, with this, we will be using one ability. That's going to be any of the running back apprentices or backfield master, basically anything that gives you the running back route. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at why this is so effective. And so you can see, I've went ahead, set zone drops to 25 and 5. That's going to be your most general one people will use. And we're going to come out and run a Mabel coverage, right? So for those of you that aren't familiar, Mabel is basically where they go with cloud flat or hard flat, and then they rock two purples. The purples set at 5 are going to react very similar to, say, a hard flat would. These hard flats that they do have will react as if they were a really good cloud flat, normally. And I'm going to say the word normally very clearly because, in general, this concept does a phenomenal job of taking away the sideline. But one thing that we use is actually a way to completely glitch out the flat zones. So the guy that should be back 25 yards deep guarding the sideline, we're going to glitch that guy out. And you do so by utilizing the running back ghost route. Now, you want to do this to the short side of the field. So as you see right here, in this play, I've got both my both my receivers on the left, my solo receiver to the right. That's because I am on the right hash mark. This is a concept that is very hash mark dependent. Now, with that, everything else on this play can be changed besides this crossing route right here. We're utilizing this deep crosser because he's going to get over the top of that zone that should theoretically be played. And the reason for that is because it actually dumbs out the flat zone and makes him suck back into the middle of the field. So I'm going to go ahead and run it just by default, no other play setup, nothing else, right? We're just going to run just with that delay route, or excuse me, not the delay route, just the ghost route and the crossing route. And I want you to see how this works. So you're looking strictly at that crosser. Now, as I mentioned, this does completely dumb out the zone drop. So let me go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. With their zone drop set at 25, specifically from a corner and a safety spot, this guy should be sprinting out here and then playing this deep hash mark or deep sideline at that 25-yard range, right? He should be back in this area. But because of the ghost route, he actually dumbs out and kind of just floats to the middle of the field. You can see he's playing absolutely nothing. And doesn't make sense. It is, I'm assuming, failed programming or a glitch in the coding, but the ghost route completely dumbs out that guy, allowing him to run right past him, allowing it to be an easy completion on the sideline. You see this concept a lot out of good gun bunch tight end players, good trips tight end players, basically anything where they can put their receivers to the wide side, running back short side, and still utilize a good crossing route back to the weak side of the field. So, for the sake of this, I do like this play for a couple different reasons. One, the play by default is really good to beat man coverage. If they were to run man and you leave it as it is, the running back's going to get open, the crosser's going to get open, the deep end's going to get open, and then if they're in man coverage, a lot of the times this delay to the flat will also get open. Very similar to how the delay fade works, except the rusher will just rush in since he's in the backfield, allowing him to leak out into the flats. It does its job, right? That's what that route is supposed to do. Now, let's go ahead and just take this up a notch. I want to give you guys a full setup because obviously somebody's going to manually guard that crosser. A good player is going to manually guard the crosser after they see that it's going to get open regardless of their zone drops. So what you can do to put a emphasis on both sides of the field to where their user can't play both is to do this concept right here where you're going to wheel the fullback, or in this case the tight end that's in the backfield. You're going to outroute the outside receiver on the wide side, and then you're going to motion the tight end that is lined up in the backfield over to the left. So your play art is going to look like this. You've got the ghost to the right. You're going to motion this guy over on his wheel route. And you see how the wheel route in this formation actually cuts up the field very quickly. So if you look at it normally, right, it's basically hitting the sideline on the short side of the field. However, when it goes to the wide side, you see it cuts up pretty much right at the numbers. So anybody that's dropping a hard flat, a cloud flat, a purple zone, anything that's supposed to be guarding the sideline, it's not going to play this wheel route. So what that does in return is it forces their user, right? Their user generally is on this linebacker. So they're going to look at the play art. It's going to look something like this. They're going to think the sidelines are covered. So they're generally at first going to run down, guard the tight end, right? That's going to be their first option, or they're going to sprint down to the running back, guard him on his ghost, because both of those will get open. Now, that's where that crossing route comes in, because most likely, unless you're playing a very good player, they're not going to know that crossing route's going to get open and dumb out their deep zone, their deep cloud flat, basically, right? So once they do that, that's where they're going to be kind of stuck in a conundrum, because they are forced to go guard this player with their user, right? So now if they do that, I just want you to see how everything gets open. So look at that route right there. Now, obviously, Jared Cook just dropped it. But we'll go to instant replay, and I'll show you how this works, right? So you have the hard flat, cloud flat combo out here to the left. Their user has to take this crossing route because it's going to get open. That's going to leave this wheel route to cut up right before the numbers. And all of these guys that they've got put out here to stop these, flat zones, or these crossers, things along those lines, they're all way too far to the outside. It's going to be an easy completion, assuming he holds onto the ball. Now, the other thing I mentioned is the ghost route. So not only does the ghost route actually completely dumb out this player right here, to where you can kind of just throw right over the top of him if you want, but you'll notice that if they have their zone drop set on 5 or 10, very few people actually set them on 0. So you'll see that he's going to be way too far away to play this. So even if I wanted to throw this, I can throw it, and I can pick up 3, 4, 5 yards, or I can playmaker it. If you have the playmakering ability on your running back, which not many people do, but it started to pick up a little bit of steam, you can playmaker him instantly directly up, and you will get basically dual wheel routes like this, to where they hit the numbers, and none of these zones actually play it. So just wanted to hit you guys with a quick little tip regarding that. This is one of the best zone beating plays in the entire game. Not only that, as I mentioned, it will beat man coverage. I'll show you that here. Here's man coverage. Just run it by default. You see right off the bat, you've got the running back. You also saw, I don't know if you saw, but Michael Thomas lit up over the middle of the field like a Christmas tree. He was wide open. Right, so here's man coverage again. Oh, got screamed at, but Michael Thomas is getting open. The in route gets open for the low ball. And then if they were to press you, let me go ahead and show you this. If they press you, this outside fade has a very good shot at beating his coverage. So it's just something for you to note, right? I'm in the zone right here. So we'll just throw the dot. Getting audible back to man, and I'm going to show you if they shade underneath. So we'll go Mike Blitzo, or we'll go 2-man under. You'll see things along this line, right? This is still a tactic for whatever reason. But if they were to shade underneath, you have a very good shot of being able to burn him with a rat catch. Now, you do need a decent release. Harris doesn't have it, but I wanted you to at least know that's an option, right? Not the point of this video, but if you're familiar with trying to think, Jets Dig, which is a very popular concept from Bunch, it's the same thing. It's the same fade route that is extremely hard to press. So, last thing, we'll run zone one more time. We'll run the Mabel coverage, and I'll just show you one more time how good and effective this is. So, once again, the setup, ghost route, the running back, wheel the tight end in the backfield, out route the outside receiver. Now with this, you're going to motion him over, and you can hike when he sets, or after, it doesn't really matter. But as you can see, the zone drops that should be guarding deep simply are not. So go to the instant replay. We'll show you all of this. As you can see, this guy right here is responsible for that 25-yard cloud flat, or the 25-yard zone drop. And you see how close to the line of scrimmage he is playing. Now, if they were to move him back, say they manually move him off the line of scrimmage, he's still not going to actually play here. He's going to drift to the middle of the field and sit inside the numbers, which allows you to throw the bullet pass to the outside. The wheel route right here is the other option that I was talking about. See how they have the hard flats? As soon as he cuts up the field, you have a low ball option right here for the rack catch, or for the aggressive catch or possession catch. So basically, your user defensively, right? If you see this play coming, this is your user. You know right off the bat, you have to guard this crosser. So you're more than likely going to play the middle of the field. If you don't play the middle of the field, you're then going to run towards the running back. So you go guard the running back, stop me from picking up 4 or 5 yards. If you're not on this guy, though, you're getting hit up basically right up the hash mark, or right up the numbers, and I'm picking up 10 yards that way. So you literally have no shot of running the Mabel coverage against this play. You're going to be forced to actually guard and switch up different players, right? You're not going to be able to sit in the Mabel coverage, and that's key, right? A, it's going to get people out of cover 3. B, it's going to force people to typically go to cover 2, which is generally very easy to beat from a spread type set like this. So if you guys want to see more stuff like that, let me know in the comments, and we'll make it happen, guys. Thank you for checking out the channel. Thank you for sticking around. I know I kind of rambled a bit on this one, but hopefully you guys do enjoy the tip. Catch you guys in the next one.